So you're taking text and multimedia. Here's what to expect. You're going to learn the definition of text, how to create textual content, and the use of digital text in multimedia. The course is divided into these 3 units: theory, the bridge, and practice. You will have exactly 11 weeks to finish this course. Here's the breakdown. For the first week, there's introduction in theory. The second week is dedicated to the bridge. At the end of the week, there will be a group discussion on non-word text. Third week is a free week, but let's be wholesome and do some reading. The fourth week is for text in the wild. In the fifth week, we start to tackle the last unit, practice. This is the middle of the term, and that's how you know that it's gonna get hectic. But this is where the fun starts too. For the sixth week, you better start working on your style for your Typography 1 requirement. Submitted your work on time? Great! You should assess your groupmates' works before week 7 ends. If you are thinking of dropping out of this course or filing leave of absence, you should file them before the 8th week starts. Polish your HTML and CSS skills for Typography 2 due in week 9. Week 10 is reserved for your group to work on your final project. This project is due before week 11 ends. And oh, don't forget about the final quiz. It will be online and objective. Don't worry, the question types will be those available on the Moodle quiz module. You will be given a 3-day allowance for 1 attempt. Aside from the final quiz, which composes 10% of your final grade, you must also complete the assignments and activities and participate in group discussions, which is 70% and 20% of your final grade respectively. Please note that these group discussions are graded and assessed. You and your groupmates will need to post based on the instructions given, and the entire group will need to discuss everyone's posts. There is a deadline for the initial post, but the discussion can go on until the middle of the term. Those who only participate in the discussion but did not contribute an initial post and/or posted late will receive deductions for this activity. We also have a class discussion called Kerning Games course, but posting there is optional. Now that you know all the requirements you need to complete to be able to pass this course, let's now discuss how you can achieve a passing grade of 55% or higher using this table. Some notes. No grade of 4 will be given for this production course. Instead, it will count as passing. If you're not able to participate or submit anything by midterm, you will be notified to drop the course. In order to get a grade of EXT, the following requirements must be met. But what's the student gotta do to get a valid excuse, you say? Well, first there's a formal excuse letter addressed to the FIC with your reasons in absence and missed deadlines. It should clearly state the dates in which you were indisposed. You are excused if during this time you were physically or mentally ill, a death, illness, or confinement of a family member occurred, there were acts of God or other emergencies. You are not excused if you had work, you experienced sudden loss of internet connectivity, unverified website errors, computer equipment failure, you had to travel, you had non-critical personal commitments, emotional problems not supported by medical evidence, and if you forgot. No, seriously, it's not a valid reason. I don't know why people still try to use this as a valid excuse. Anyway, here's a rule of thumb in writing a valid excuse letter. Kindly attach verified certificates or reports only. Please do not send photos that are private, sensitive, and not safe for work. And write your letter in a way that it's more like a formal letter and less like a noontime variety show. Please refrain from including sob stories. House rules. In naming your file, follow this format. Always in PDF. If it's more than one file, zip it. Only one file is allowed in a bin. Submitted the wrong file? That's okay. You can edit it anytime before the deadline. To avoid this from happening, you can simply download the file you submitted to check. Didn't check even if you were specifically told? That's okay. You will receive a notification and a maximum of 70% of the highest possible grade. That is if you were able to provide the right file in 24 hours. Otherwise, it will be marked 0. Extensions might be considered if given at least a week before the deadline. Netiquette: no spamming, off-topic discussions, not safe for work content, cursing, name-calling, and flame-baiting. Do not add the FIC on any social media platform. All communications shall be conducted via my portal. Any form of academic dishonesty will not be tolerated. Your faculty in charge.